Imagine stepping onto a wooden ship in the year 1620. The wind is cold, the ocean endless, and the future completely uncertain. Families huddle together, carrying only hope, faith, and a dream of freedom. What they didn't know was that their journey would help shape an entirely new nation. Today on Past and Present Tales, we're traveling back to the Colonial and Revolutionary Era, a time of survival, rebellion, and the birth of a country. Our story begins with the famous ship known as the Mayflower. In 1620, English religious separatists left England in search of religious freedom. Their voyage across the Atlantic lasted 66 exhausting days. The ship was crowded, supplies were limited, and storms constantly threatened their survival. When they finally reached North America, they founded a small settlement known as Plymouth Colony. Before even stepping onto land, the settlers created a remarkable agreement called the Mayflower Compact. This document was one of the earliest examples of self-government, promising that settlers would create laws together for the good of the community. But survival wasn't guaranteed. The first winter was devastating, and many colonists died. The colony only survived thanks to assistance from Native Americans who taught them how to grow crops and survive a harsh environment. Before Plymouth, however, another colony had already begun its struggle. In 1607, English settlers established Jamestown in Virginia. It was founded by the Virginia Company, which hoped to find valuable resources and wealth in the New World. But Jamestown's early years were brutal. Settlers faced starvation, disease, and difficult relations with nearby Native American tribes. One leader who helped stabilize the colony was John Smith. His strict leadership and survival strategies helped keep the colony alive. Later, the introduction of tobacco farming by John Rolfe transformed Jamestown's economy, making the colony profitable and attracting more settlers. Fast forward more than a century, and the American colonies had grown dramatically, but tensions with Britain were rising. Colonists were increasingly frustrated with taxes imposed by the British government without their consent. The breaking point came in 1773 with a dramatic act of protest known as the Boston Tea Party. On December 16, 1773, a group of colonists boarded British ships. Disguised as Native Americans, they threw hundreds of chests of tea into the water. This was their protest against the Tea Act. The protest shocked the British government and triggered harsh new punishments, bringing them closer to war. Soon, conflict turned into full-scale war. In 1775, fighting broke out between colonial militias and British troops. Leading them was George Washington, commander of the Continental Army. The war was long and difficult. The colonial army struggled with limited supplies, harsh winters, and a powerful British military. But help eventually arrived from France, which supported the colonies with troops, ships, and supplies. After years of fighting, Britain finally surrendered. The war officially ended in 1783 with the signing of the Treaty of Paris. But even before the war ended, a historic moment had already taken place. On July 4, 1776, representatives adopted the Declaration of Independence. The document was primarily written by Thomas Jefferson, with support from leaders like Benjamin Franklin and John Adams. The Declaration boldly announced that the colonies were no longer part of the British Empire. It also introduced the powerful idea that all people have natural rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Colonial and Revolutionary Era was a time of courage and transformation. These events shaped the identity of a nation. History isn't just about events. It's about imagining the lives of the people who lived through them. If you could live in any historical era we talked about today, which would it be? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again on Past and Present Tales, where history connects the past and the present.